always on your side. This is First Coast News at 11.
The Jacksonville Jaguars select Josh Allen.
The priceless moment of the draft. The city of Jacksonville getting a look at the man, the father, the #1 pick, Josh Allen, and his son walking on stage for the world to see.
Jaguars select Josh Allen.
And listen to that reaction from Jags fans right across the street from us inside Daly's Place. Draft fever in the River City tonight. We're going to have reaction from the team's star players coming up in just a minute.
But first, tonight at 11, we are tracking some strong storms moving through the Panhandle, headed our way. Part of our viewing area could see some severe weather overnight.
And we begin tonight here in the Weather Center with storm expert Tim Deegan. So this is a system that's already produced some tornadoes. What are you expecting here?
Well, we've watched the tornado watches, which is where there could be tornadoes march eastward from the Panhandle. Now includes the Tallahassee area. Overall, the good news is we haven't seen any major damage lately, but still, that's a strong storm out there. What I'm showing you first on the radar, that's just an inversion, nothing to worry about there. But what about farther off to the west? There it is, the storm. Plenty of dangerous lightning. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But what about the threat of wind damage and isolated tornadoes? Again, the good news is we have not seen any tornadoes for about the last 6 hours. But you see what I see? We'll go back one more time and see if you can see the circulation with the system. Shows it pretty clearly right about here. And just within the last hour, the circulation of the storm system has come ashore, and there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the Apalachicola area. So bottom line, it's not as strong as it was, but I don't think you need me to tell you that's still a pretty intense system. So how fast is it moving? To the east, that is toward us at about 40 miles per hour. I'm going to take all the radar out so you can see where the most recent severe thunderstorm warning is. Remember, under severe thunderstorm warning, that's when you can have isolated tornadoes. And even without that, look at all the lightning with that particular cluster. Okay, first, who's going to receive the storms first? You folks out around Columbia County will march these storms eastward in just a few moments.
All right, Tim, thanks so much. And be sure to download the First Coast News weather app. You can watch live radar and you can get push alerts about any weather event happening in your area. And this strong weather will disrupt your morning commute. So Katie Jeffries and the Good Morning Jacksonville team will be on your side tomorrow morning to help you get around. Remember, you can send pictures of the weather in your neighborhood by using the hashtag FCNStorm on social media. Now to a story you'll see only right here on First Coast News. It is getting a lot of heated reaction tonight on social media. A lot of people questioning the actions of a Clay County deputy after he shot and killed this dog.
The deputy, Clay County Lieutenant Mark Cowan, told police he thought the dog, Parker, was a pit bull and said it was charging at him and his dog while they were all at Ronnie Van Zandt Park in Clay County. Well, Parker's dog walker hadn't let him off the leash and he ran toward Cowan. Miranda Abbas says her dog weighed less than 40 pounds and would not hurt a fly.
He never, ever had an ounce of aggression in him.
You did not have to shoot him. It's horrible and it's wrong.
And Abbas calls the fact that the deputy's first reaction was to shoot a failure of training. As for the sheriff's office, they say their deputy will not face discipline and the case is closed tonight. Clay County does have a leash law.
Now, the dog sitter says she was unaware of it and deeply regrets what happened. You can read more on this story right now on firstcoastnews.com. Happening now, the person who ran over a sunbather on Amelia Island is tonight still on the loose. The woman, who has asked not to be named, says she had gotten off work early, headed to the beach. She was lying down on a bright colored beach towel when a Jeep ran over her. If you have any information that could help solve this case, please call the Nassau County Sheriff's Office.
A life of leisure and you may have paid for it. New evidence in the embezzlement case against a St. Johns County Sheriff's Office employee.
So here is a look at her home right here near the ocean. Today also released pictures of her family's vacation. Crystal Bailey is on your side live with this exclusive information. Crystal?
$700,000. That's how much money Ray Britnell is accused of stealing from the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. Tonight I've been going through the evidence just released by the state attorney's office in the case against her.
Select call from
47-year-old Ray Britnell arrested on multiple counts of forging bank checks, grand theft, and fraud last November. She called her husband from the St. Johns County Jail before she bonded out.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in a cell by yourself?
Yeah, I just got to a cell.
You all right?
Yeah.
Good. You sound good. You sound better than me, actually.
The investigation began when two of her subordinates in the financial department noticed something wrong. Checks made out to bogus vendors, some of the names sounding like her family members. The sheriff's office says Bretnell wrote checks to names she made up and deposited more than $700,000 into her own accounts. These newly released pictures are part of the prosecution's case against her. During her time as CFO at the sheriff's office, this is the St. Augustine home she lived in, listed on Zillow for almost $500,000. Photos of her husband's Facebook page show vacations, like this trip to the Bahamas, and a picture of these Yeti coolers, which go for $400 each on Amazon.
It's just a matter of time, okay?
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
Bretnell pleaded not guilty, even though the sheriff says she admitted to stealing from the agency. To be clear, despite the images from his Facebook page, her husband has not been charged. Bretnell is due in court next Tuesday. Reporting for First Coast News, I'm Crystal Bailey on your side.
Josh Allen, defensive end, Kentucky.
Well, it is official. The Jaguars tonight selecting Josh Allen with the 7th pick in the NFL draft. Fans are ecstatic. Let's take a look now at this place, which is packed with fans at this hour. A lot of excitement here on our First Coast.
Yeah, that video taken earlier in social media is buzzing about that pick tonight. I saw a lot of you talking about it on Twitter. Sports director Chris Porter joining us now with reaction from fellow players. Chris.
Guys, he's the player that was just too good to pass up on. Edge rusher Josh Allen. Allen bringing his talents here to Duval to make what is already a terrific defensive line even better. Allen was highly regarded as one of the draft's top pass rushers and was thought to at one point go as high as number 3 to the New York Jets, but he fell right into the hands of the Jags. Allen joins a fierce front seven that already boasts Yannick Ngakoue, Marcel Darius, Calais Campbell, Tevin Smith, and Miles Jack.
17.5 sacks. I hope he can rush the passer, yeah. We expect him to be able to be on the edge no matter what you line up with. And he fits in as a pass rusher and also could play defensive end or outside backer.
Socially acceptable to see what his teammates had to say about him. Jalen Ramsey had apparently reached out to Allen a little over a week ago, letting him know he is, quote, real deal baller. Calais Campbell saying, we're going to eat. Allen, as you heard Tom Coughlin there, 17.5 sacks last year. No one of the Jaguars outside of Calais had more than 10 in 2018. Allen will be joined by General Manager David Caldwell and head coach Doug Marrone for a press conference tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. We'll be there. Coming up a little later in sports, our team of analysts will be here to tell you the impact he'll have on the Jaguars immediately. Guys?
All right, Chris Porter, thank you for breaking that down for us. And First Coast News has a live NFL draft blog right now on our First Coast News app. If you want to keep track of every pick, you can download our app for free in your app store.
A lot of excitement. Well, young women, older men, and cash, lots of cash. Those are 3 elements that combine for an explosive story.
It's a story that parents we've talked with say is both eye-opening and terrifying. We posted the promotion for this piece online on social media earlier today, and you responded. Some of you called the women hookers. Others said, well, you didn't see anything wrong with what they were doing to work to pay for school.
And you know, that was before you even saw the whole story. So here's Alex Osiris with our On Your Side investigation into so-called sugar babies.
Hello?
The voice on the other end of that line, we're calling her Emily, and she is a sugar baby. We found her through an online post looking to connect with fellow sugar babies, agreeing to speak with us only over the phone and under the condition of anonymity. She's in her last year of college at the University of Central Florida. 3 years ago, she came across an article about how some girls on campus were paying for school.
Just moved out of my parents' house. I was just about to start college, so I thought, you know, why not give it a try? I don't really have anything to lose.
She's had a few arrangements with allowances using a sugar baby site. Her friends know, her family doesn't.
My parents are religious, so if they ever found out that I did this, then I would be in trouble.
So let's explore the data. For this, we contacted the CEO of a sugar baby arrangement company called Sugarbook. Their tagline, where finance meets romance. Now, according to their internal reports, they've already seen an increase in the number of Florida sugar baby signups. Now, they say their internal reports show each one making about $2,200 per month. We spoke with CEO Darren Chan from his office in Malaysia via video conference.
Is that we market ourselves as more of a honest and transparent dating platform. Yes, it is a sugar daddy and sugar baby dating platform, but we want people to be extremely upfront about what they want in a relationship.
That includes financial relationships, Chan says. And the boon is not only for his company, which he says made a six-figure profit last year, but also for users. Bringing us back to Emily, who says without the allowances, she would not be able to have paid for school.
And if it weren't for sugaring, I would be in like around $10,000 in debt, but I'm not in any debt right now.
It pays their bills, but it doesn't fix their problems.
Dr. John Oliver is a psychologist at the University of North Florida, specializing in relationship issues. Oliver explains the anxiety Emily feels in her situation is typical among sugar babies.
So they become secretive, which causes them to be less likely then to reach out to people if they need help.
Now, according to another sugar baby arrangement company called Seeking Arrangement, these are the top schools seeing the most signups across the country. And you'll see that 3 of the top 5 are right here in the Sunshine State: the University of Florida, Central Florida, and Florida State.
You definitely have to be more careful now if you do want to start getting into sugaring.
Emily says her first arrangement ended after a few months when the man she was seeing wanted more out of the relationship. Another arrangement led to sex. Chan acknowledges there's no current procedures for background checks on SugarBook. We reached out to other arrangement sites as well, but our questions went unanswered. But a point the CEO and Emily wanted to make clear in our conversations: what's being arranged is not prostitution. Chan puts it like this.
Prostitutes, it's a business transaction, whereas for sugar babies, it is a lifestyle.
Oliver disagrees, saying the business-like relationships carry the same emotional consequences that are seen in paid-for-sex arrangements, calling it, quote, detrimental to self-esteem and well-being.
There's no equality here. Somebody's got all the power, they got the money, and money is power. We'd like to convince students knowledge is power, but in the reality of the world, money is power. So she's often powerless.
Are there other consequences for being a sugar baby? What about arranging the relationship? We continued the conversation with those folks that you saw in our story online. Just go to firstcoastnews.com. Reporting, Alex Osiris, First Coast News, on your side.
And Alex, thanks so much. You know, there's a saying that if you think education's expensive, try ignorance. But there is a savings plan in Florida that you may not know about. First Coast News' Jeff Allen's on your side tonight with more on that plan and the important deadline that, Jeff, is coming up pretty fast.
Yeah, indeed, Heather, it is. Do you think that college will be more expensive when your kids get out of high school than it is now? There's only one answer to that, unfortunately, but fortunately there are also solutions to that. One is the Florida Prepaid College Plan. Now, the way this works, it allows you to pay future college costs, either installments or lump sum, and you lock in today's rates today, meaning when you start saving for that. And on top of that, the money is protected by the state of Florida. But the annually set rates could be about to go up.
I've got so many friends that say, I've got student loans, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000.
He's not finishing college with that load on his mind.
It makes me feel so relaxed.
That's because UNF senior Avery Latterain's parents mindfully started putting money away in Florida's prepaid college plan when Avery was born.
It was, what, $47.86 a month?
Enough to cover all of Avery's tuition at rates locked in way back then.
$10,600 for a 4-year degree.
Versus the more than $25,000 4 years at UNF would cost today. That's the charm of Florida's prepaid college program. It's like a layaway program that covers future expenses at annually set current costs.
You're locking in with your payment the cost associated with college.
You have until April 30th to lock in this year's rates. Considering that inflation has averaged about 2% a year since 2000 and college tuition has jumped more than 5% a year in the same time frame, time is always of the essence. There are other plans as well, and sometimes a combined strategy is best. But with that end of April cost adjustment in Florida's prepaid plan, it's a good time to take a close look.
If you do it one day after April the 30th, then the plan is more expensive.
It enabled us to be able to know that we could send him to a 4-year college.
Ultimately, obviously, some of those plans can save tens of thousands of dollars. Now, for more information about the Florida prepaid college plan, go to firstcoastnews.com for that story. We're live in Jacksonville. Jeff Allen, First Coast News on your side.
So we just showed you how you can save money on college. How about saving some money on your clothes? We know how important it is to dress and dress nicely. According to Forbes, people form an impression of you in just 7 seconds.
But you know, you do not have to spend a lot of money to look your best. If you like bargains, you are going to love this next story. Tonight, Jeannie Blaylock takes you to her favorite spot where she saves hundreds of dollars.
Even if you hate math, you'll love this. Watch me save almost $600 on 5 dresses. Good evening, I'm Jeannie Blaylock. Original price, $119. I paid $20.82. Aren't you glad it is finally Friday? Original price, $129. I paid $45.15. Tonight, an exclusive interview. Original price, $100. I paid $35. 5 dresses, total original price $694. I got them all for $121.43. I saved $572.57, almost $600. That's 2 weeks' rent at these apartments on the south side. So how did I save almost $600? When is the last time you shopped at Regency Mall?
I don't even remember.
Oh, it's been years. Okay. Well, believe it or not, this is my spot to dress on a dime. The Dillard's clearance store at Regency. And check this out. I hit a sale. Everything in the store 50% off.
There was one for $109. It was great.
$109? What'd you pay for it just now?
$15. And then I got. Yes, look at these shoes.
She's right, the shoes. Wow, Calvin Klein, Kate Spade. Now, my pet peeve at bargain stores is when everything is all jammed on the racks. But not true here. It is very well organized. Size large tops all together. Size 6 dresses, even grouped by color, for example. But be warned, no returns. And that line to try on clothes can take 30 minutes or longer. But guys, check this out. Our marketing director, Brent, always a sharp dresser. This suit, $495. He got it for $86. And look who else shops at Dillard's at Regency. We love Ken Amaro and his bow ties. That bow tie right there, $39.50 on sale for $6.91. Now, we caught the extra big 50% off sale. Another time I was there, it was buy one dress and get 2 dresses free. The manager, Frank Romero, tells me sales are posted in advance on their Facebook page. The clothes come from Dillard's in Atlanta and the Carolinas. Eric Alvarez is here right now because we are just beginning to show you ways to save big money.
Well, Jeannie, all month long, we're going to make our viewers' lives just a little bit better every single day on decisions whether, like, it's cheaper to buy your house or rent your house, or if you want to cut cable, what your best options are for doing that. And, of course, whether you're going to get a better deal at Walmart versus Target or Publix versus Winn-Dixie. There's small things that add up to make a big difference all month long on our new segment, Stay Up and Save.
That is worth watching. We'll be watching all through May. Back to you guys.
Now, weather with your First Coast News storm experts, powered by AC Designs.
Did she say 5 dresses for the price of 1? That would certainly help the family budget. Not that I'm picking on whoever buys the dresses. Let's get to weather, folks, and let's get to it. I'm showing you basically the 2 ingredients I'm concerned about tonight as we go through the overnight hours into the early morning hours. The shading, that's a severe thunderstorm. That's the concern for wind damage. Lightning, as you know, that's always a concern. Here's the overall system continues to head our way, and here's the timing of the leading edge, again, possibly into Lake City. So you folks in Columbia County, by about 2. I'm going to show you county by county, first the counties I'm most concerned about, and then we'll drop the risk. So 2 to 5 for those of you in Columbia, Baker, Union, and Bradford. Not as much of a risk, but still about the same storm window. Ware, Charlton, Pierce, and Brantley. A slightly lower risk, but still it's going to be there, possibly for some gusts of 55, and a little bit later, 5 to 8 for those of you over Clay and Putnam counties. But then what about the rest of us? My main concern being lightning in the morning. For instance, for those of you who have students that maybe typically walk to the bus, walk to school. Maybe tomorrow morning is the morning you well, have a carpool to help them out with that. Again, rain and lightning, but as you know, lightning can always be dangerous. Notice you folks off to the southeast, that's where the storms will start latest. That's where it's going to clear latest, but I think all of us will see conditions clearing by Friday evening, and then the stage is set for a pretty nice weekend.
From the Farrah and Farrah Sports Desk, it's First Coast Sports.
Hello?
Is Josh there?
Yes, sir.
Josh, Dave called with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
All right, Josh.
What's up, Coach?
We didn't have to trade up, huh? How about that one?
Hey, hey.
It worked out for the best, right?
Hey, appreciate it. I'll see you in a second.
We got to get you cranked up and going.
They did not have to trade up. Defensive end Josh Allen bringing his game to Duval to join the front seven. That's already magnificent. Joining me now is two of the best analysts on our First Coast, James Coleman, Tony Wiggins, a.k.a. T-Wig. T-Wig, he was not supposed to be there at number 7. There was no way they were going to pass up on this guy.
No, I didn't think he was going to be there. James and I had discussed it. We thought he was going to be gone. But I'm proud of the Jaguars organization because they did what I always thought you need to do, and that is you go drafting with a full stomach. Don't be impulsive to fill a quick need and just get something to nourish you for right now. They have a guy that has a chance to be a dominant pass rusher for 10 years, and you can never have enough edge.
James Coleman, this guy, as he's saying, probably the cream of the crop in this year's draft as far as pass rushers. The immediate impact he has on this team day one.
Well, we got rid of the Dante Fowler. So right now what you did was you got a guy that you can whisk in just like Dante Fowler in pass rushing situations. You can also take a Calais Campbell and you can extend his career by moving him to the 3 technique. Man, you get him, Yannick Ngakoue, Calais Campbell, man, you have got a front that can actually crush people, and you get more reminiscent to when we made that run, when that defensive line was just dominant and you can come in in waves and get to the quarterback.
We'll get back to the Jags in just a second, but let's talk about Brian Burns, FSU. Go ahead, James. Tell us your thoughts on him going to Carolina Panthers.
Oh, man, it just looks good. Carolina Panthers have had an FSU Seminole that's been on their roster before a few years back with Everett Brown, but this guy's a little bit more of Cameron Wembley, very athletic, has good bend, accelerates off the edge. He can not only get to the quarterback, but now can strip sack, which is really big in the NFL. He got to bulk up a little bit, get a little bit better in run, but that's not what this league is about. This league is about getting to the quarterback, and that's what Brian Burns can do. Led the NCAA in pass rushes last season.
I love to give comparisons. My comparison to him is John Abraham, who played for the Falcons. He is a guy that will give you that bend. He'll come off the edge. Get him up to 15 pounds. If he needs to learn how to do that, he can call me because I can gain some weight on him. So, get 15 to 20 pounds up on him, and he'll be what Carolina's always had, which is a real good edge rusher.
All I need for you guys to answer, not who, but second and third round tomorrow.